Alright, welcome back to F1 2021. We are finally here for a new season of league racing. This time we're kicking off with FTRL round number 1 in the Circuit of the Americas. So, intermediate, I've not done any wet conditions running at all, so intermediate conditions for the qualifying dry race. So, business as usual. This track is one that I have loved in the past. And I found it stable enough setup. It's not the 11-11 setup. You're going to see it in a sec. But having a front end that can really keep you going through this track really is important. And a little bit of rear downforce to hold through the triple right-hander in Sector 3 and then the S's in Sector 1. I find were the really important parts of trying to get on top of things here. I think everyone's still trying to learn F1 2021 as a whole. There are some stuff that needs to be fixed, but there's a setup. I tweaked some things. I need to save these tweaks actually, because I didn't think I saved it on my actual thing. But anyways, I went to look as I always do for wet conditions. I go out for a bunch of runs. I fuel up. I ease myself into the pace, try and build it. And at end of qualifying here, I invalidated my last lap, which was like 2/10 or so. I was 2/10 or so up, and I invalidated second last corner. See, we're in the Alpine. And I just tried to give it everything coming out of this corner. I tried to make up as much time as I could. And there goes the ghost there. So apparently that car did it ghost for other people? Strangely enough. I found that really strange. But I hope you enjoyed my helmet. And I hope not to see this cutscene too often. I haven't seen it for a while actually. So to be fair, I have been in qualifying a few times. But anyways, not great, because even if I had improved by 2/10, I don't think I would have really gained many places. It's P18
illegal blocking
out of 19 drivers, so yeah, not great.
Even though his car was
not great to start. Did I even scroll down to find myself down here? I did not. There I am. P18, and the only reason I'm P18, not P19, is that Chris crashed out in qualifying himself as well earlier in the session. So. Yeah, not great. My wet pace leaves a lot to be desired. I just found ever since I moved to no traction, my wet pace just died. Like it just died, and it's never recovered. I used to be okay in the wet, not amazing, but not as horseshit as I am these days. Strategy. I decided. Look, I thought I've nothing else to lose. Let me just go on to save hards. In retrospect, I probably would have been better off at mediums. If I had a do-over, I will probably do mediums. So, I say that, I don't know. I think yes. I think for the performance that you have over the hards, I think it may have been worth it to do mediums. But, anyways, look, I don't think it was. Look, it ended up working out in some ways. So we'll see. We'll see how we got on. Anyways, here we go then. P18, 5 red lights, and away we go. I actually get a pretty decent start, but the problem is. I knew Chris was on softs. I knew he was flying, so I couldn't really shift to the middle. So I end up. I think I could have got Joe and Chicken if I'd really pushed. I don't think I used my overtake at all heading down that into turn 1 there. But so let ourselves sit back here and usually watch the chaos unfold. And Wesker is immediately sent into a wall. No safety car for this. This was cleaned up very quickly. But and then I tried to get Chicken here on the outside, but I got done for a legal overtake. I need to learn also how to better, you've got 13 seconds or so to let the car back through. So I should have really done so heading down that hill there. I had plenty of time. I didn't need to use like 8/10 in the second to the cars in front. Anyways, same lap though, later lap 1. Again, you have to lift through that part of the track, which is I'm not used to doing.
I don't want to be fighting you.
Because we spend, there goes Chicken. You spend a lot of time. All the other games, basically, it's been flat. So to have to lift, I found it very surprising in qualifying as well. Like, practice to have to lift through there. It was really a shock, and because the car just went otherwise if you didn't get the line perfect. But Joe lets me go here, so appreciate that. I wasn't sure if that would actually be worth it for him, because his practice pace was quite good in comparison to mine. Lap number 3, I think. Is that lap number 3? I think there goes Funky Fox, so he spins out there as a position gain for me. Lap 3 out of 28. Yeah, there we go. So some of these curbs are quite nasty as well. I feel like the curbs here have kind of taken away some of the difficulty in not getting penalties at this track. Because you're just... And plus, like, the lack of front-end grip also, takes that away too. So and plus you can actually just there are some parts of the sector 1 where you literally you can go across the white lines and not get a warning or a penalty or a validation. So this next part of the race was literally I saw guys just pitting from their softs. Basically, I was overtaking them, so I wasn't that far behind. But my teammate, you can see out front, which is Octox, is absolutely stormed away. So yeah, absolutely flying. So he was. He started on softs. Lap number 12, so jumping far forward here. Andy there spins out from same corner I did actually when FTRL was last in the USA. So that cost me, I think, a P7 or P6 that day. Lap 16 though, more people coming into the pits. We just had a VSC that just finished, so on the back of that, Kevin is going to get by here into turn 1. He's made a stop, so I'm not going to fight him. And I just emerged, and Sway's just come out of the pits there as well on his soft, so he's going to get me here as well. So looking good for Sway then. Set of softs can chase after Kevin, see if we can get after Karen Robb there. But yeah, I was hoping for a safety car around this point because obviously it would be perfect because, well, you know, I've yet to stop. These hards, they weren't great to start and they're not great coming out of the pits.
Oh, fuck.
But definitely as the race went on, they definitely kind of came into their own. So, you know, they were decent as the stint went on. So I was happy to go forward with them to softs rather than get off of them ASAP onto mediums, because Joe decided he would get off of those things quickly, and he ended up doing a bit of a two-stop. I actually just emerged if I had Funky Fox here and Andy just behind him, so we've come out in a bit of a little bit of not traffic, but trying to contend our position. And nap 19 then, the safety car is deployed for Joe, losing the back end coming out of the that left-hander in sector, just the end of sector 2, beginning of sector 3. So I just came into the pits, of course, so I'm not going to pit. My tyres are just like a lap old or so. Or like 2 laps or so. So we're going to stay ahead here, and we're going to get in front of Tico here. Now, I knew Tico was going to try and get by. I almost wanted him to get by at times as well. But the manner in which I want him to get by, you know, has to be reasonable. Because I want him to cause carnage up in front here. That's really what I want him to do. So, but he wasn't really on my rear, so to speak. Like, he wasn't on my gearbox. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to try and hold his position then, and then we'll see what happens. He was making this move no matter what, man. And I saw it coming. If I didn't see that coming, I really believe there's going to be a crash there. But he was determined to send that. And I was really annoyed about that at the time. Because, again, if I don't... He's about 2/10 or so behind me heading into the corner. And if I don't avoid that, he's just going into my car. You know? So anyways, they piss off up the road then. Leave him to get stuck into it with Kevin and Yarm and such up front. Funky Fox is behind me, so I've got Funky Fox, Andy, there's Dan, Tom LD is somewhere behind there as well. So he can Funky Fox like, no, don't overtake me through here. Are you silly? You're gonna have DRS. You're gonna be much quicker. You know, don't need to be so impatient there, because this is like you have a very easy overtake if you just wait like that. So there he goes on lap number 24, and then 1 lap later on lap 25, Andy's going to zip past as well. I decided early enough I wouldn't really spend all my ERS really fighting that one, so through he goes. And then there's Dan. Now the guys behind me, I'm no longer worried about, because it's Dan and Chris who've got penalties, so we can kind of just leave on from there. But I think Kevin got damage, and I think Yaram got damage, and I don't know if Tico got damage, but something happened up there, and it's created this big bottleneck, and Funky Fox was able to get by it really quickly. So Yaram's already pitted, I believe. So it's Andy, Tico, Kevin. 2 of these guys have damage. I sense an opportunity here, and Andy goes wide. I'm like, I could sneak up the inside here. Thankfully, he sees me late. But I was really happy with that overtake, because, you know, I'm sure he would have been looking to attack, and I was the one that managed to sneak up on him. And there goes Tom. I also then Tom into the fold. So thankfully I'm protected somewhat with a bit of overtake and a bit of and DRS in front of me to Tico and Kevin. But looking behind me, I'm like, oh my goodness, look at this for a sight. So this is absolute madness here to finish off this this race. We're on lap 26. So Sway up front is wanting Kevin to fight all of us here, because he's got 9 seconds worth of pens, and this bottleneck is this is definitely helping him, but you know, how long can it last? So Again, much better grip through this part of the track. I'm not sure if he's got damage or whatever. It didn't look like he had visual damage on the stream. I sensed an opportunity here, and I thought I was going to go for the inside. I tried to send it. He did leave me the space, to be fair to him, but I wanted to get into a slipstream, but there's a car right there. I was like, oh shit. And so Dan is picking up the slipstream here. I'm like, I'm going to send it, because I was still really not happy with what he did earlier. So I know that was a dive bomb. I'm fully aware. But now he got Tico on my right, Tom on my left. Surely it's going to end in tears? No, thankfully not. Retrospectively, though, I was in the middle of a sandwich with Tom and Tico and survived. I don't understand how that happened. But I was honestly still really pissed about. I was still really pissed about Tico's dive at the safety car. So I had absolutely no morality issues sending that one on him there. So got that done. Got a really good top end speed there on Tom, but couldn't. I put the car there, but there wasn't anything doing. So Kevin here still fighting the good fight here with wing damage.
2 seconds.
So Tom's going to send it, and he sends that. So he's through into P7 there. Well, there were penalties, 2 penalties rather, which is unusual for Tom. Obviously, Kevin's got wing damage to get a much better run on the outside here. Thankfully, he kind of seized the position. I was hoping he wouldn't fight too much once I got alongside him.
Right.
Thankfully, he didn't. So thank you, I appreciate that, because he could have obviously fought that harder than probably would be recommended. But here we go, that final lap of the race. We are now in a good spot, because Kevin's going to kind of hold up the guys behind on the damage going through sector 1. All I have to do here is just use everything I can. I stuck it in DRS of Tom, use the ERS where I needed to, and we're going to pick up a few positions here on penalties. We're going to pick up on Tom and Sway for P6 from P18. I don't know, man. I don't know. It just, you keep your nose clean, keep it in a straight line, and you just never know how it's going to go. The stage car obviously helped a lot. I know that. I see Tico, Yaram, and Kevin getting their damage or whatever also really helped. I know that full well, but you know, I control what I can control, and we brought home for P6, where I absolutely did not deserve to finish. So look at the lap times there. Again, you see the hards kind of came into their own there, and no warnings, not too hard this time around USA, to be fair. So, but yeah, that's going to do it for round number 1 of FTRL. We are back league racing once again. Next up is Russia. That should be fun. Survival is the aim of the game there. So, thanks very much for watching, and until next time.